Today we are back with another LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga video. This time I wanted to take a look at some of the custom figures that I have from, well, I think all the ones in the video today are going to be from Fab Labs, but I think there are a couple that aren't. I'll mention them when we get to them. At the end of the video, I'm going to give a shout out to a whole bunch of custom stores and their Instagrams, so stay tuned if you want to check all them out. Jumping right into it, I figured I'd start off with 2 in 1 since they're both from the same scene. But these are from the end of episode 1, when, spoiler alert, Qui-Gon gets killed by Darth Maul, and Obi-Wan is all like, "Nar!" So you can see the expression on a young Obi-Wan's face of shock and awe as his master was just murdered in front of him, and Qui-Gon in that classic Complete Saga style with the X's over the eyes. So like I said before, most of these are from Fab Labs, which includes these ones. So just kind of a general overview of what you can expect from Fab Labs. These ones in specific, I had to part out from him. Like, I think he was just selling the torsos and the face prints, and I had to buy like the hair pieces and the legs and stuff separate. Same for accessories. He doesn't usually include accessories with his figures, so like anytime you need lightsabers or blasters, you'll need to go out and buy those yourself. With the print, you can see they're pretty good detailing. Obviously, it looks like you would expect from any LEGO stuff. It looks exactly like the prints from the regular figures from back in the day. I guess if I have one nearby, I just so happen to. It's like the exact same print design, except with the figures were tan in the game, so you can see like they have the chest pieces in tan color instead of yellow, like all the figures were back in the day. So like for a lot of his figures, he'll just do pieces. You'll just buy the torsos and heads, and then go in Bricklink and just buy whatever other pieces you need. But it's the texture that kind of throws you off. Like the design looks just like LEGO would, but the texture, when you feel it, you can feel that it's like pad printed or whatever. I don't really know the differences between the UV printing and pad printing and all that stuff, but it's definitely quality. It's not just gonna like scratch off or anything. They aren't stickers or decals or whatever. As best of a quality as you can really hope for, aside from like direct LEGO. And as much as possible, it's all printed on actual genuine LEGO pieces. Like he buys bulk torsos or legs or just blank heads or whatever, and then he prints them himself with his printing stuff. So it's all genuine LEGO, it's not a knockoff or anything. Next up, and also from episode 1, is our classic Padme. Definitely one of my favorite outfits from her. It's still an absolute travesty that we never got Padme with this outfit, or almost any outfits. There's like 2 different versions of Padme that exist in actual genuine LEGO, which is crazy because she's known for all of her different outfits from the prequels, so it's actually pretty crazy we didn't have very many versions, so that definitely leaves a lot of room to be desired for the customs community to fill the void there. But definitely another one of my favorite figures. Not much to say there aside the hairpiece. You'll see different customs places do print like a custom hairpiece, because this isn't exactly the one that she had in the game. This is kind of a generic one that they bought from LEGO, so from different places you'll see different hair pieces, and you might want to go pursue that if you buy one of his versions, because he generally uses genuine LEGO pieces as much as possible and doesn't like to print like custom molded stuff a whole lot. Next up, moving on to episode 2, another Padme here. Again, I think it's the same face print, same old hairpiece and stuff. We've got a very crisp white cape. A few capes I've got from him. I'm not sure if the capes are like actual LEGO ones. It feels like a really crisp material to me. Like, I don't know, just most of the capes that I've gotten from LEGO never really felt this firm. I think it feels a little bit thicker too. So that might be a custom thing there. Again, we have no back print. He did have a version when like she had her shirt clawed or whatever. I do not have that one, but that was definitely a fan favorite, and he's re-released that one or he's restocked that one, I should say, several times. Yeah, another great figure here with that crisp white uniform there. Really good classic printing. He does a really good job of emulating the print from the game there. Another one still from episode 2, and probably my favorite custom figure that I have, or one of them at least, is the classic Kit Fisto from episode 2. You can see it's a different uniform than what he had in episode 3, or at least it's not the same as the actual episode 3 based figure. No back print or anything. It's like the same robe design as you see on the Obi-Wan from 2005 or whatever, like the actual LEGO one. Aside from like the chest piece there, like at the torso, you can see it's like white printing instead of the tan or yellow or whatever it would have been. This is one of the ones like I was talking about before. He doesn't usually do the custom printed pieces, but this headpiece obviously is not genuine LEGO because LEGO didn't make one of these. This one was actually outsourced. I forget who actually did it. I don't know if he even mentioned who did it, but he basically had another company print these for him, and then they shipped them out to him when they were finished, and he painted them. So this is like custom hand painted by him, and you can kind of tell, at least in real life, like it's paint. So I'm a little bit worried like this would chip or scratch eventually, so I don't try to mess with it a whole lot. If you can tell, I know my lighting isn't super great, but you can see the inside is like a different color, because like why bother painting the inside if it's covered up? It's kind of emulating like a LEGO stud on the inside there, and it stays on pretty decent, but a lot of times I've seen when I have these custom ones, they don't click on like super great, or they're either super loose, or you have to get like just the right angle for it to actually be tight. But the point is, it looks super great. I wouldn't necessarily recommend him as like a play figure if you're planning on playing with him, because I feel like these are pretty brittle. Like a lot of times with these types of molds in Lego, you'll see it's all that rubbery, so they don't break, whereas these are really firm and thin plastic, so it could probably snap easily if you're really getting in there and going hardcore with it. So take it easy if you're planning to play with these figures. If it's just for a display collection like it is for me, then you'll have no worries really. Another one of my favorites, and much like that last Kit Fisto, here we have Aayla Secura. I don't know if this is based on episode 2 or 3, honestly. I don't know if it really matters if there's a difference, but the same idea here with that head molded piece, that was outsourced to another company, and then they shipped it to him and printed, or they shipped it to him and he painted it. This is another one. This is worse than the other one, where like it's really hard for me to get it to stay on really well, and I feel even more so like about the fragility of like these head tails or Lego or whatever. I really feel like those are going to break and they're really brittle, so be careful again. If it's just for display, it's fine, but if you're going to like be taking it off a lot and messing with it, be careful. The stud connector piece here is like really shallow. Like it's hard to stay on, and it has to be like at just the right angle for me. So again, not necessarily dogging on it whatsoever. It's a great fig, but that's just the kind of thing you're going to see with customs. Like here, yeah, I can really struggling to get that on firm, but there we are, it's good. And then obviously a great print. We've got no back print there at all, but I love these colors. Like those leg pieces are probably one of the rarer ones. This was more expensive just to get like the different colors, different color arms and stuff, but a simp classic for sure. This one for sure we know is from episode 3, and it's another Padme, pregnant Padme from the very end of episode 3 and right before her death. Same hair piece as the other one. The face print, I think, let me grab one real quick. Yeah, I think it's a different face print. I'm pretty sure this one is not the one that's not from Fab Labs, if I remember correct. I was looking over the Instagrams, and a couple people make these. I'm not sure where I actually got it, honestly, which is sad. I've had this one for like a year, I think. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure where I got this one from, but I'm pretty sure it was not Fab Labs, so a little bit different, but the print feels about the same. Like it's got that same texture, maybe a little bit smoother than the other ones. Like the other ones, you can really feel the texture there, but... And yeah, I know Fabs has done the swappable headpiece, like with the X's over the eyes. I don't think I own that piece actually, but I'm sure you can buy it from him for like an extra $5 or whatever if you want to have her after she was killed. So yeah. Moving on to the original trilogy, I only have a couple more to go here because I didn't really get a lot of the original trilogy stuff from him. But here's the Medical Center Luke. Again, the torso print is actually the same print as like his wooher, the barkeep from the cantina in episode 4. I don't actually have that figure, but my brother does. I actually should have tried to dig that up, so I could have thrown that in the video too. But aside from like there's a chest hair print on wooher, and there's not on here, but like for the wrinkles and stuff, it's the exact same print design, just different color and stuff, obviously. But yeah, again, no back print on this one. Really cool figure. It's got kind of that shocked expression on his face there. It's a little bit different than your normal Luke figures. Really simple design here, but again, really captures that classic nostalgia of the original games, so really love to see it. Episode 6, another Han Solo. Probably my favorite outfit I've seen Han Solo in. I just love that indoor green, that sand green color. Just the whole indoor vibe, I really like that a lot. And it was always a bummer they didn't have one of these in real life. Like we had probably like the first Luke minifigure that ever came out, I believe, was the Endor Luke. Then we had the Endor Leia from 2009, but they never really put out a Han to match those back in the day, which was really sad. I think in like 2015 with the Imperial Shuttle or whatever, they finally put one out. But it's just not the same. He didn't quite go with the other original figures, so definitely had to have this one. You can also see he's got that classic shooter face that he has. I think that face is available as just a separate head print from Fabs too, so if you just want that head to put on your normal Han Solo, you could grab that as well. The leg print, I think he printed these leg pieces. I don't think it's the same exactly as the regular Han Solo one, but I could be wrong there. Just looking closely at it, it does look a lot like the pad print to me, so I'm pretty sure he printed these ones. Yeah, again, pretty simple, but just a really cool figure. And this is the last figure I have here. It's actually not from him, but you could call this a Purist custom, I guess, because I did this one myself, actually. I got the regular black legs, obviously, and I got the torso piece from the original 1999 Endor Luke Skywalker, which came with a yellow hand, so I swapped that out for a tan-colored hand. Got the tan Luke head, which is actually rarer than I thought it was. It only comes on a couple Lukes with that original print, but in tan. Sand green colored cape, that was really rare. I think I paid like $10 just for that cape, which is crazy. But given that the other figures are pretty expensive, it still ends up being cheaper than most of them, actually. The helmet piece is not the same as the one in the complete Saga, actually, and there are people who do print those specifically, like it's an actual custom printed piece. But I'm honestly fine with just the regular official Lego one from like 2010 or whenever they released that first Endor battle pack. So one of my favorite custom figures here, if you want to call it custom. It's just a Purist custom. I love this one a lot, and it definitely captures the LEGO vibe a little bit more than the face prints of those other ones do. Bonus credit, not exactly a figure, but this is the Womp Rat from episode 4, from the Jundland Wastes and stuff. This one I believe was done by Hillingus, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll leave a link for his shop at the end, but this is a completely custom molded piece. Obviously nothing official LEGO about this whatsoever. He painted them himself too. Like you can see the feet, it's still like that white plasticky stuff inside. This is sized to fit on a LEGO stud, so just for whatever I have right here, you can see it clicks on just fine. It stays on firm, doesn't like fall off or anything. It's did a really good job scaling that one. There's a stud on the top. You can see again no LEGO logo on there because it's not LEGO obviously, but you can click something on top of there too. Just a really cool thing. I feel insecure about the tail here just because it feels again like that really firm, brittle thing. Like if LEGO did this, it would probably be rubbery to make sure that doesn't break, but this I feel like could easily snap if you're messing around with this. And the last one here, I had to actually zoom my camera out a little bit here, but it's the Bantha from, again, episode 4. This too is from Hillingus or whatever. So I think he ships from Australia, actually, or I think he originally was, and now he might have like a distribution in the USA. I think I remember reading something about that, but it took forever for these to ship to me, and it was super expensive for shipping too. I kind of regret that, but it would be nice if there were studs on the back. Again, it's from the game. I don't think there are actually studs represented on the back. The eyes kind of look like studs, but they really aren't. You can't click anything in there at all. The feet are sized for LEGO. Like you can click them on stuff, but they're spaced wrong. Like in between them, instead of like 4 studs or whatever, it's like 4.5 or something. So like you can get the back feet to click on, but not the front feet, or vice versa. I think he has had an updated version of this since this one came out, where like the spacing is correct in there and like some other details are a little bit different. But again, I'll have his site linked at the end here so you can check it out and see if he actually does have one. But really good background piece just for like a Tatooine display or something, so I don't mind having it not connect perfectly. So that is it. That is the entirety of my complete Saga minifigures collection so far. I think I do have a couple more that are pre-ordered right now, and at some point I may end up doing another video if I have enough to justify filming a whole nother video just to encompass the new ones that I have. I do have a number of other customs that aren't from the complete Saga too, which I may do a separate video on at some point, and maybe just include whatever new complete Saga figures I get at that point, but yeah, definitely something I like to collect. I will say roughly the average price of each of these like $20-ish. Like again, if you part them out, like it's just a torso and a head for like $5, and then you can buy LEGO pieces for cheaper. But they do like to rake you over the coals for these custom figures, even though it's a pretty simplistic thing. But I don't know what their actual profit margins are. Obviously, I don't know what it takes for them to actually source all these parts, and then outsourcing the head molds and stuff. Those ones are always more expensive. If it's the kind of thing you're into, like I definitely recommend it. It's super cool. I love having these. It really brings back memories of the game, and it's just great to have figures that I always wanted as a kid and just couldn't have because LEGO didn't make them. So once again, Fab Labs. That's where I got almost all of these from. A lot of my other customs too. He's not super duper expensive either. He usually ships pretty fast. He is pretty transparent about where he is in the process of making his stuff. His website's easy to use. I can't recommend him enough, or them. It's like an actual whole team now, so really good. Just to list off a few others, Hudson Custom. I definitely have bought from him before. Brook Rebellion, I got a super cool Ahsoka from him. It took a while to ship. I believe that was Australia as well, and I'm located in the US, so that takes a while to ship, obviously. Beck Customs has a really good selection. Kaminobricks, Hillingus, like I mentioned before, that's where the Bantha and the whatever thingamahoo is from, the little womp rat or whatever. cloudcitybobafett, I did have a couple customs from him because people were doing commissions or something, but I had like, his thing is called cloudcitybobafett, and he does a lot of like Cloud City style Boba Fett, so I have a couple from him. They're pretty good. galacticminifigs, the last one I have on the list. Actually, I think I bought a Thrawn from him and like another Ahsoka, but then she ended up being like out of stock, so I had to get a refund or something for that, which is kind of a bummer. But he has a whole lot of stuff too. It's super cool. So yeah, check those guys out. I might leave links in description if I feel like it. Otherwise, just look them up. Yeah, that's all I got for you for now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Complete Saga videos in the future. And yeah, take it easy.